Let's talk about some of our boys. G-Man, what can you say about him? Jerome Davis, young buck, awesome. He's the #1 man, tough Hedeman. Clint Bronger's a tough, dude's a warrior. Take it to the bank.
Hang on, everybody. It's bull riding time in Anaheim, California. Now on Prime Network across the world, it's the Acme Bull Riders Only series. Brought to you by Roper Apparel, the greatest looking shirts you'll ever wear. And by Original Coors. Hello, everyone. I'm Hadley Barrett, along with world champion bull rider Gary LeFew, and we welcome you to Anaheim, California, in this beautiful new Coliseum. Now, when the hockey team plays here, and they call them the Mighty Ducks, they call this arena the Pond. Tonight, we call it the scene of some of the very best bull riding in the world because it's bull riders only. There's a couple of, maybe 3 big guns that are missing tonight, Gary. Tough Hedeman, who's leading many categories. He, along with Daryl Mills and Mark Kane, they're in Brazil on a goodwill tour down there. What's this going to do for everybody?
Well, it looked like Tough had the Acme Boot Tough Enough Award locked up, riding 11 out of 12 bulls. But Terry Don West has got 8 out of 9 rode, and he's seated tonight. If he rides 2 tonight, that puts him right on Tough's heels for that award.
You know, there's another guy we're going to have to deal with, a guy that's really on a roll. Aaron Seamus won the big event in Salt Lake. And we take a look at some of his action in Salt Lake, how he picked up the win. It was part of 17,000 that he won last week. And this man is truly on a roll. Let's think about another thing with Seamus. He comes back off of an injury. He is seated tonight. It means that he'll have to ride 1 less bull than some of the other guys. That can be important. The top 5 look like this. Hedeman has an $8,000 lead, but any one of the top 4 below him can catch him. That's the way it looks tonight. We're going to be right back with action right after this. Welcome back to Anaheim Arena, California, for bull riders only. And we're going to take a look at the Roper highlights. Action and highlights from round number 1. Now, Brent Gluck, he was the first man to set the scoring stage for us. He's a Texas kid, a lot of class. This boy can ride, and I'll tell you one thing, he doesn't lack for confidence. That was a good score of 77. Jeff Cathcart hit the scene from Wyoming. So as he makes his bid to move on to round number 2, you watch this ride. This little Red Bull really handed it to him. Well, he come up with a 72 score, and that ends up working for him. Another man that we looked at, Thor Hofer, who thrilled the audience with this ride, and he got by kind of a bad bull to ride. Our officials saw it the same way we did, 76 for Thor Hofer, and that's a good, slick ride. Good, slick ride is what it is. Hofer says, I'm out of here. Well, you can see the close-up of Clinton Jones. That was preparation. Now we'll show you what developed from that. Look at that bull. Now look at that bull throw his head. Look at him throw his head. He's after it. To get away from this bull, that's another story. Jones says, I found it. I found it. The bull fighter, oh, man, picked him up right there in the ribs. Well, he goes to the sideline, and everything's all right. 77 for him. Stu Sellers really showing you his bull riding stuff here. Now look at that bull, and look at him use that outside foot. Our officials like this ride for 79 points, and that one will work for Stu Sellers. This is Gary Richards. Kind of a quiet kid from Houston, Texas, but I'll tell you what, he's got a lot of flair. He's got a lot of flair. Ahead of a bull ride, well, he'll be a little bit quiet. He'll ride him slick like he did here. You watch what he'll show the audience. They love him. The officials scored him 72. Gary says, let me out of here safe. Now, I got to show you my thing. See right there? Okay. Nick Buckley, very much in this thing. And I mean, that bull really did kick the top rail off of that chute when he came out of there. Buckley is going to pick up a 76 score for that good bull ride. Man, oh man. Now, we're going to go to the Original Coors qualifiers. Second round qualifiers look like this. Buckley, Cathcart, Gluck, Hofer, you saw him a minute ago. Jones is in there. Richards is in there. Seller, Art Watson, a California man. Now, these guys were already seated, and they include some people that you've known before. Look at that, Wasey Cathy, Michael Gaffney, who was out with an injury earlier this year. He's in there solid. Some more of the seated boys that you'll see in go-round number 2. Aaron Seamus, last week's winner at Salt Lake, and is he hot? Marty Stannard is a California man. Brent Thurman, Terry Don West, he's a man that could overtake Tufwa Peterman. All right, now these are the guys that make the decisions for you. Our officials, Chris Horton on our right, Alan Jordan Jr. over there on the left. Those two men, Joe Bumgardner on our left, Lloyd Ketchum, he is the resident bullfighter, if you will. Boy, they add greatly to the safety of these bull riders. Well, as we take a look at the Bailey hat cam, we're going to go to commercial, and we'll be right back with action in round 2 after this. Welcome back to Anaheim Arena in Anaheim, California. Bull riders only, and we're going to go round number 2. Thor Hofer's going to be our leadoff man. Night Train, the bull that he's drawn. Now, if you're a newcomer to bull riders only, we watched the highlights from round 1 a moment ago. We go to round 2. We throw away all the score history. Everybody starts dead even. We have the 8 qualifiers from round 1 and the 10 seeded people. Here in the field, we're going to look at some big guns in this round and try to bring back, what, 10 of them?
You bet. Try to bring back 10 for the short go-around. And as we go up the ladder in these go-arounds, the bulls get tougher. Second go-around here will be tougher bulls than the first go-around, and then the cream of the crop will be saved for that last go-around.
All right, Hofer wants a successful ride. He wants to start this thing off right. So we're looking at just a little over 50% of this round to come back, if they're that successful on this pen of bulls. Good crowd here in Anaheim Arena. Oh, man.
Oh, come back by Hofer,
I tell you.
Hofer's hungry, I tell you what. He's wanting to get the whistle here.
I mean, Gary, that bull did cut her back.
Boy, he had him bucked out of there, but he made one heck of a comeback move and got back in the middle of him and finished that ride. So you never know what's going to happen in these rounds. If you get the whistle, you get in the clubhouse, you're more than likely going to make the next go-around as many guys as they buck off.
Well, Hofer, as we take a look at this bull really handed it to him. Then the bull kind of lost his momentum and flattened out a little, and then he got it back together again, didn't he?
Well, that just goes to show you, if you don't give up and you hang tough, you know, anything can happen. It's never over till the fat lady sings.
67 is the score for Hofer. 6-7. This is Gary Richards getting set to go now. Hart Bar owns the bull, and we call him Heart Attack. I'm telling you,
Heart Attack.
we come up with some names, don't we? Now, we saw Richards on the Roper highlights a while ago from round 1. I like the spirit of this guy. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Heart Attack. Switching directions on him. Oh, Richards, I ain't going to give you a nickel for him. He's too out of shape.
Now, the important decision is whether he made the 8 or not, and I don't think he did. It is a no score for Richards. He says, oh well, I tried. You know what? The officials' watches say 7.13. So that's a long time to come up a little short, isn't it? We call him Smiling Brent Glove, and he comes from Texas. Here's a man that you also saw in the Roper highlights a little earlier. He was the first man to come up with the score in round 1, and the bull is called Friday the 13th. Holy cow.
Boy, they're trying to psych him out with these names. Heart Attack, now Friday the 13th. You know, that is one of the things that contractors try to do. This is such a mental game. They try to get a mental edge on you by trying to put a name on them that's going to psych you out.
Well, I'll tell you what, they got me a little worried. I don't think Gluck cares. He says 8 seconds are looking right down over the hump of this bull.
Got him a little back. Come on, hand in there. Oh, boy.
I don't know, you know, I think it was a safety lick. He had to come down with that free hand and get some control of this bull. But he may have heard that 8-second horn before he did that. It's going to be close. That's going to be close.
Well, this bull really starts out good. It's really blowing. Gluck's in perfect position, getting up over that front end. making a great bull ride, and then when the bull jumps out of it, he gets him a little run back off that rope. You got to move back on them legs and get back on that front end. If you get strung out on the back, this bull's going to buck him off if he doesn't weaken right here, but he kind of slowed down a little bit, give Gluck a chance to kind of hang in there and get that score.
And he does, 64 for Gluck. Here's a guy that has to be an in-house favorite. Marty Stannard, he's one of the toughest guys to buck off in pro bull riding. This man right here. But he comes from Sanger, California. We've seen him at the NFR many, many times. He's a permanent fixture of the Bull Riders Only telecast.
You bet he is. And, you know, we talked about consistency here. The guy that rides the most consistent at the end of the year is going to win that $10,000 bonus for the Tough Enough Award, the Acme Boot Tough Enough Award. Marty Stannard is riding at 67%. Tuff Edelman, who's in the lead, was 92%. So it's consistency in this game. And here in the Bull Riders Only, you might go to 5 rodeos and not draw a real good bucking bull at regular rodeos. But here at Bull Riders Only, you know, you're darn near, if you get to this second round, you're going to draw something that bucks. So percentage is the cream sifts to the top, as they say. And if you keep your percentage up, you're going to not only win a lot of money, but you're going to get in there for those bonuses at the end of the year.
You bet, and that's a $10,000 bonus that we're talking about. Stannard is on a Mitchell bull. Weber Blue, the name of the bull. Man,
he's got him in tow. This is a good bull ride. Oh, man. Boy, you can see why he's got that percentage up there. That is not
Well, you know, I remember just a year ago now, not all that far from here at Long Beach Coliseum, this man was suffering from a hand injury, and he rode 3 ranked bulls in a row that night. Boy, I'm telling you, this guy is something, isn't he?
You bet he is. He's having to take cortisone to keep that pain down in his hand at Long Beach. But, boy, we can see this bull ride back. You can see how bulls are supposed to be ridden. Look at him move up over that front end and really keep charging that front end. Marty Stannard does that as good as anybody. It's just like riding a jumping horse. When that front end comes up, get up on your legs, get daylight under it, and get over that front end. Get over that hump.
And, you know, you want to get a score like this is what you want to do. He says, I love it. 76. Go to the top of the leaderboard. All right, Marty, way to go.
Well, if he keeps riding like that, he could be the champion here tonight.
Dax Lackey says, I have something to say about this. Lackey comes from down near San Antonio. Bernie, Texas is his home. Handsome Stranger is the Mitchell bull that he's drawn. They've let up a little here on this psyching out, you know it. You know, we talked about Bull Riders Only, consistency. The rookie scoreboard looks like this. Now, those are the newcomers to the tour. Terry Don West, talk about a tough bull rider. He's a challenger for that Tough Enough Award. Darrell Mills is a Canadian champion. Adam Carrillo and Dax Lackey happens to be in that list. We're about to watch him ride.
You bet. 5 out of 6 bulls ridden. He's only bucked off 1. He's consistent. Down there in Bernie, Texas, that's where we're shooting the Lane Frost story with Luke Perry, who got on a bull a little earlier tonight. Hopefully, if we have time, we'll be able to show that ride back. Mark 74 would have been one of the leaders in the first go-round.
Right.
Made a great bull ride. Bull spinning into his hand, and old Luke cowboyed up and made a nice bull ride.
When they told him that he would if he scored high enough, they'd give him another one, he said, I don't think I want another one. I'll tell you one thing. These folks here in Anaheim Arena, they want to see another. A great, great crowd here is what it is. They're loving it. Dax Lackey, as we mentioned, one of the rookies on the tour. The Texas fan, boy, this is a big horn bull. This is one of those big crossbreds that has well, the base of that horn is, I need to quit talking about those horns in bull riding, huh?
Well, those horns are always there. That's the psychological part of this game. You got them big horns sticking up in your face. That's when you got to look down within yourself. And as Larry Mahan used to say, the battle's not with the animal, the battle's with the weakness in yourself. And if you can overcome that weakness, talk yourself into getting out over them horns, and literally on ranked bulls, you have got to get right out between the horns. That's where the control is, and that's what's so hard to do, because they're always there. Uh-oh, he's getting a little too far in that well. He's not going to make it. Well, maybe he might have made the watch, but he was sure out of position.
All right, now Dax is waiting for the signal, and I don't think it's going to be in his favor. Well, I think we are going to get a score. I'll take that back. 66 is the score for Lackey, and he made it. All right, now Nick Buckley drawing up that rope. Well, I'll tell you, this go-round number 2 is getting tough. And again, this in-house audience at Anaheim Arena. Anaheim is alive tonight. Look at Buckley.
Oh, Buckley, look, go on, Buckley. Cutting that corner. He's cutting it a little too close. You can't do that.
Well, our officials carry stopwatches. They have to ride him for 8. Buckley is not going to make it. It's going to be a no-score deal. Don't go away. We'll stop for this break, and we'll be right back with round 2. Now, the next stop on Bull Riders Only is right down the road in San Diego, California, at the Sports Arena on September 11th. Now, as we talked about at the top of the show, Tuff Hedeman, along with some other Cowboys, is in Brazil. And, of course, the Acme Tough Enough Award, good for $10,000. That's one of the big ones of the year.
Look at him, boy, this crowd is going wild here.
You know, you look at Terry Don West here. Here's a man that is sitting second behind Tuff Hedeman. Now, he's sitting behind Tuff in the Acme Boot Tough Enough Award. Now, you know that that's consistency. We've been talking about it all evening. And a nice $10,000 bonus check at the end of the regular season.
Holy hell, he's got a handful here, but this kid can ride bulls. Look at here. Go on, Terry Don. You know, out of 90 bulls attempted last year, this kid rode 89 of them. That just goes to show you how consistent he is. He's one of our leaders here. He wins Long Beach. He's got another one down tonight, so that puts him a little closer to that Tough Enough Award in Tuff Hedeman.
78 score for Terry Don West. All right, good one. And he may come back for round 3. As you see, our leaders, Terry Don West moved out in front with that 78 score. Stannard close on his heels with a 76. Wasey Cathy, he's the man from Big Spring, Texas. Handy man of the Meisner string. The bull he'll be on. Here's one of the most consistent people in our game. Oh, man, talk about it. The bull almost lost his footing.
Uh-oh, bad break for Wasey there. That was, boy, there's just nothing you can do about that, Hadley. When one of them bulls slips like that, it throws you back, throws your timing off. He tried to catch back up, but that's just the breaks of the game, as they call it.
Well, we're looking at one of the greats right there, Wasey Cathy, and it's a no-score deal for Wace. Michael Gaffney happens to be one of the favorites on the Bull Riders Only Tour, and the fans know him from coast to coast. Gaffney, known as the G-Man. Good-looking kid. Lubbock, Texas. I like the way he rides. Look at those career earnings for this man. He's the big winner of Bull Riders Only. 41,000, nearly 42,000 won already.
And has rode 5 for 5 this year. The sad thing about Gaffney is he's had a hard time staying sound this year. He's got that shoulder problem, that arm problem. So when he's sound, nobody rides better or rides tougher, as you can see right there.
You got that right. Peyote of the Meisner Spring, they had high hopes of bringing that cat down. What was he looking at? I don't know what that bull was looking at.
He was looking for Gaffney, I think.
I think he was. He must have been able to smell him on that rope, huh?
You know, we put out modeling tapes of the great riders, you know, for the young riders to look at, and this is one of the guys that we use for role models, to have young riders just to watch these rides of Michael Gaffney over and over again. Tuff Hedeman, Jim Sharp, and just through osmosis, you kind of pick up their style of riding and what they do.
He rides good as the G-Man scores 78. He may be back for round 3. Looking good. This is Brent Thurman taking that final wrap. Austin, Texas, man. Rough and ready is this bull. And the bull's owned by Meisner. Well, now this bull is known to be a rank dude, and I mean he is standing on his nose.
Oh, Brent is handling him in perfect. Look at the form, the way he's moving back forward. He handled him just, that's the way you're supposed to ride bulls.
And I mean, he came out of there slick. 86 for Thurman. Nice ride. Dan Wolf is the man we're looking at here. Little man of the Dan Russell string. the bull that Dan's on. Now look at his career earnings. At nearly 21,000, 12,000 this year. All right, the Wolf. Man, his feet come out of there, Gary.
You don't see that very often, not with Dan Wolf, not the way he rides. That bull put a move on him.
Man, I'm telling you, he did. And I mean, blew his feet right out of there. So they say when your heels go up, your chin comes down. And man, it happened there. No score for Dan Wolf, and he has to be wondering what that bull did to him. Man. Take a look at one of the hottest men on the tour now. We've been talking about him all night. Aaron Seamus. He's a California man. He won the event a week ago in Salt Lake.
Mackerel, go on with it. Seamus, what a bull ride. Boy, this kid is hot, Hadley.
I'm telling you, you can't buck him off. You can't even come close to bucking him off. Aaron says, I'm still here. The judges say 90 points. Don't go away. We'll be right back after this break. In San Diego, California, at the Sports Arena. You can see the numbers on the screen. You can call and get ticket information, a little more information about Bull Riders Only. Come on over and see us for a great event in San Diego. Well, here's a man that has high hopes of being there. Jeff Cathcart. He's on a bull called Justin. Cathcart is a man that comes from Wyoming. We were talking about him a little bit earlier, and Gary Lefew made the comment about this man that when a bull goes into his hand, normally he'll get the job done. And if we might clarify that for the folks at home, actually, when we're talking about a bull going into a bull rider's hand, that means that if he rides left-handed, the bull elects to spin to the left side, then that's going into your hand. Some bull riders like that a little bit better. Others prefer the bull to go away from their hand. Now, you'll notice Cathcart, as we take a good look at him, he's taking a good grip on that rope and turns the tail of that rope to kind of fit his riding hand. You'll notice that he rides left-handed. That'll be interesting to see which way this bull goes and whether it'll be to his advantage or not. Kind of like a left-handed pitcher facing a right-handed batter. Well, that bull has got a move on him. I'm talking about it. And comes right around into his hand. Well, as you know, Gary Lefew is our resident pro. He calls the shots. He's been there a lot of times, and I'll tell you one thing, Gary, you called it right on this man. Nice ride. Nice ride by Cathcart. And I mean, he did come around right in his hand. Remember the big scores that we've had already, and we're talking about 10 of them coming back for the third round. Now, you watch this again. Look at that bull. A little undecided about which way he's going to go. I'll tell you one way he went was up. Now coming right around into Jeff's hand. And I mean, he has got him handy. Did you see that 83 score that came up there? Seamus is still in the lead. Thurman with that 86. Now Cathcart has moved right in behind him with that 83. I'll tell you one thing. Those guys are going to make it back. Now here's the man we were talking about a moment ago. This is the bull we were talking about a moment ago. Stu Sellers is the man. Sellers with a 79 score earlier. Boy, an awful good view of that bull rope. You know, Gary, we've talked about the wrap and how they take that rope. There's 2 or 3 different ways they take that wrap.
You bet. It's that as they pull it up snug, and they put a lot of real sticky rosin on here because he's got 2,000 pounds of matted-tailed bull, and there's a lot of strength on the end of your arm. So what they do, watch him pull it up real tight. He'll come real tight across here. So he pulls a little twist into it to keep it whole. Some guys will go out through the fingers, but the main thing is to get it real tight, get it real sticky, and then when you pound that hand down, you're literally tied to the bull. You know, it's not a matter of having the strength enough to squeeze it. Once you wrap that around there with it real sticky, you know, a little bitty skinny arm guy can hang on to it. But the trick is getting out of it once you need to get bucked off when you're that whistle blowing.
Yeah, when you get done. You're right.
Oh, he's got a handful of bull here.
Well, that is a rank bull. Sellers disappointed. Looking over his shoulder to make sure that bull wasn't on his tail. And that's going to be a no-score deal. Let's do it.
Look at Sellers. Look how far off that rope he was. He's getting run back off that rope. And we call that chasing when you get back there because that big kick comes up. And watch as he runs back, that kick will run him back there.
See, as he right here, as he gets way back, and then that big kick comes up and just blows you out of it.
Well, I mean, it did. It did blow him out of there. That's exactly what it did. Well, Sellers will not advance, taking a no score in round number 2. Scott Bretting says I may. Slam dunk is Dan Russell's full that he's drawn. Now remember, this man was seated. Dan Wolf was seated. Michael Gaffney that's in there very strong. So was Seamus. So was Stannard. Those are some of the people that are at the top of the leaderboard. Now, you can see the Bretting looking good there.
He has got a strong bull right here. This is the bull that Aaron Seamus won the bull riding on at Caldwell last week. But you see how the drop and the high kick of that bull, that's the 3rd time we bucked Scott Bretting off at a Bull Riders Only. And this kid, he bucked off one bull in 3 years in Montana. I've been up in Montana working on a movie, and that has been the talk of Montana. They said, hey, they've actually bucked Scott Bretting off.
Yeah,
that goes to show what kind of bulls we got at Bull Riders Only.
It doesn't happen very often.
Great athletes, these bulls.
Now, I don't understand why Scott's feet came out like they did.
Watch this. If we can get a stop action as this bull comes up, right here, the next jump, we'll try to catch him way up here when he comes up. Stop right there. He's a little bit behind. He's got a little bit of daylight, but not quite enough right there.
All right.
Oh, got that right foot, that right foot behind him, and then that big kick come up.
Well, this is Buddy Golden that we're looking at here. Again, Mr. Consistency, what we call him.
Uh-oh.
Well, I hear the horn in the background. But when did that horn blow? That's the important part.
It looked like it blowed after the whistle blowed. I believe Buddy was there. Buddy has come on. His consistency has got tougher each year. And he has been not only one of the top riders in Bull Riders Only, but he is the top 15 for the national finals this year.
So he put it together on a good Dan Russell bull. Party Guy was the bull. 81 was the score for Buddy Golden. He's smiling. He said, it's looking good. It's looking good for round 3. You know it is. Now, we talked about the events yet to come. We're moving to San Diego, September 11th, September 25th, Wichita, Kansas, Denver. One of the hot spots for Bull Riders Only. And then a new stop, Chicago, Illinois. We're going to take her to the Windy City. And that'll be actually at Rosemont, Illinois, right outside of Chicago. It is Rosemont Horizon, Long Beach, California. We've been there before, and a lot of good fans. You want to find out more information about it, 1-800-536-BULL, B-U-L-L. This is Art Watson, another California man. You didn't have this boy in your school, did you?
You bet. Art Watson come to my school when he was about 12 years old, come back when he was about 14. Yeah, most all these California boys have been through there one time or another, and Art was come years ago with his brother Mike, and boy, he's made a good one. He has got one of the most powerful bulls on the circuit out here. This bull weighs about 2,200. When you get him rode, you have done something. Oh, man.
You know, and that was kind of like a big lineman wearing down a linebacker. That bull, you mentioned his size, and I'll tell you what, he just kept running it at him, and he got Art down, and I think maybe a little too soon. Yep, we have that confirmed. It's a no score.
Now this bull bucks it off with probably as many guys as any bull on the rodeo circuit. Like you say, he looks a little slow, but a lot of power there. When he comes up in the front end and drops, he kind of rolls under himself right there and rolls old Art back. And boy, when you come down, it's right on the back of his head.
I'm telling you, he did. A new crease in his Bailey hat, not one that he'd planned. Go to Clinton Jones. Clinton Jones on Black Magic of the Dan Russell firm. Pretty good look at this bull right here. Now again, Gary talked to the folks at home about that bull rope. You mentioned the fact that they're basically tied on. Well, if they ride left-handed, if they get off the left side of the bull, then that enhances their chances of making a good, clean escape. But if they don't, the bullfighter will try to turn that bull where they can do that.
Yeah. Now, something about Black Magic here. Black Magic, okay, looking at her scores, we got Aaron Seamus still with that 90, and Thurman with 86, and Cathcart followed with an 83. Talking about Black Magic, he better tie his hand in, because this bull has the best buck-off record of any bull at the Bull Riders Only Series. And he's had some good cowboys on him, believe me. He's bucked them all off. He's probably the most unridden, he is the most unridden bull on our circuit.
Well, Jones didn't like the feel of what he had there. And I know a little fatigue will set in if you're in there too long. He had to readjust that rope. That's the reason they let it loose. Now, Gary talked to the folks at home about that finger tug. He comes back between those fingers, doesn't he?
Well, that's burning your shift. If you duck off, there's a good chance you're going to lose that rope, but he lost it. Hang on to the rope, but he lost it anyway. This bull, there's nothing nice about him. He's not pretty in the way he does it, but he gets Cowboys on the ground.
Well, he bucks off a good man there. And Jones was scrambling. He started to move one way to safety, and that bull coming around from out of nowhere and almost wiped him out again. Well, now you take a look at this.
What's that bull? He fakes right and then right back to the left, you know, and leaves old Clinton hung out to dry right out there. Once he hits out in front of him, and that's where you don't want to be. What a great job by Joe Bumgarner moving in there to save him.
That's a place that you don't want to be, but I'll tell you where you do want to be is right back with us. After this break, we'll have more of Bull Riders Only. California, Bull Riders Only in Anaheim Arena. Well, as we take a look at the original Tours qualifiers, the scoreboard shows us coming back in round 3. This is the way they look. Wyoming's on the board with Jeff Cathcart. Michael Gaffney, the G-Man, is in there strong. Smiling Brent Gluck, he'll be with us. And tough Buddy Golden. Thor Hofer has turned in some good rides tonight, and he's going to be on the scene. Dax Lackey, the Texas manager, Aaron Seamus, who won the event in Salt Lake last week, and he stays hot. Marty Stannard will be with us. Brent Thurman, Terry Don West, who happens to be one of the challengers. And he'll be one of the challengers for that Tough Enough award. Now, let's go to the ducking chutes. Michael Gaffney. Well, Gaffney is the man. He's the man that's starting it off, and about a rank bull. Well, that happens to be, Gary, as you know, that happens to be one of the Chevy Trucks All-Star Bulls Grasshoppers. No disgrace to come
You
down
bet.
from a
This
bull like
is the
that.
third time this year that this bull has bucked Michael Gaffney off. And anytime you throw one of the most consistent bull riders of all time off 3 times, you're a great athlete in your own world. Just got him a little bit on his butt, got him back, but you've got to hand it to Dan Russell. He has brought one of the premier bulls of the world right there.
Marty Stannard is our man. This is the California man that we've talked about. A good look at Marty right here. He is one of the toughest men to bring down, and that's his opponent. That's a bull called Freckles, and Gary, this is another one of those Dan Russell bulls.
You bet. Freckles ain't a real big bull, but Dynamite comes in small packages. This little bull will probably get it either to the left or the right. Doesn't matter which way. He'll kind of feel you when you come out of there. If he catches you on leaning a little one way or the other, he'll skin it back that other way. He's a handful. Marty is riding hot for the great bull ride that last go around. Oh, he's tapped again. He's tapped again. Holy heavens. Probably going to go back that other way. And Marty hanging in and rattling.
Well, I'm telling you, that bull had such a tendency to bow him right down over the top of that bull. And Marty has such a way of pushing on his arm. I mean, he can stay back off of there.
Actually, that's right where he wants. When they pull him, he just goes right on up on his legs and lets them pack him around that corner.
So Stannard, as we take a look at it, and look at that bull hang him right out over the front end, and I mean, he's in there soft.
Boy, you can see that's where that control is. See, every time he gets him a little out of shape, he moves straight forward, right back over that front end, reaches with that free hand, and that is a great controlled bull ride.
That's going to be a 79 score for Marty Stannard. Bear in mind, there are payoffs down through the top 4 places. We have thrown all the scores away, $10,000 to come up with the biggest score. Well, he has the biggest one right now. Dax Lackey, Bernie, Texas man, is on another Russell bull, and the bull is called Silver Spur. I'd like to say quickly, hello and a get well quickly, because let me tell you one thing, Count. I'm talking about our friend Bob Tallman. He's in the hospital right now, feeling a little puny. Count, we can't do it without you, so get back as quick as you can. Rest easy in the meantime from all of us.
You bet. We miss old Bob. Old kidney stones got to him. We got to get in there and knock him out of him. Speaking of Dax, he's got a little black bull here that looks like he's just be a fun little bull to ride, but he stoked Jim Sharp off a couple of times, who's probably the most consistent bull rider in the last 10 years, him and Tough Hedeman. And so don't let this little bull fool you. He looks like he's a nice little bull to ride, but he has got as good a buck-off average as any of them.
Well, Lackey will know at the end of 8, coming right around into his hand.
Boy, that is direction for Dax. He is riding hot.
That's the kind of a bull that you don't dare make a mistake on. I'm telling you.
Well, Dax had ridden 5 out of 6 coming in. That'll move him up to 6 out of 7.
Look at that bull come around, and look at that score. Lackey moves out in front of everybody, and he moves 10 points ahead of Marty Standard with an 89-point ride.
Oh, that was a beautiful ride.
Well, he's walking back, and he is in the lead. He has him chasing him now.
Thank you, sir.
Jeff Cathcart, the Wyoming man, has drawn his rope full. Gary, you told me this is one of the all-time great bulls.
Literally, without a doubt, one of the greatest bulls of all time, and is still bucking. He's an all-star bull, Pacific Bill, Chevy Truck bull, and this is the bull that tore Cody Custer's arm in half at Tacoma. Boy, and you can see that Jeff Cathcart's direction's been to the left. Bull goes to the right, so goodbye to him.
Well, it's no disgrace to come down from a bull like that, and Cathcart loses him. We'll be right back after this message with more Bull Riders Only. When Bull Riders Only comes to the sports arena in San Diego, and we'll be doing that on September 11th, you can pick up more information with the numbers you see on the screen. Ticket information, times and places for Bull Riders Only. This is Brent Thurman. Hot shot of the Dan Russell firm, the bull that he's drawn, the score to beat. Dax Lackey a while ago turned in an 89 score, and they're gunning after him now.
You bet. No, Brandon. Look at that look on his face. Boy, that's intensity. Oh, look at him. This little bull started in the first round and has moved to the final round. Oh, he's mad.
He is mad. Thurman says, that's not what I planned to do. That'll be a no score for Brent. We may have led you to believe that you only win $10,000. Well, Lackey is in the lead for that right now. $3,000 per second. Standard is looking at that at the moment. Now, you see old Playboy 2 and Dan Russell's firm. He says, I'm ready for him. And I'll tell you who he's ready for is Thor Hofer. And Hofer's been hot tonight, Gary. I think maybe he can ride this bull.
You bet. He's got a good draw. This bull's not quite as ranked as the other one, but when he does get ridden, they win a lot of money on it. Because he's going to get brought on that front. But he's one of those bulls, if you do everything right, you can get the whistle and you can get some money on him. Uh-oh, he's getting rid of that. Oh, that's going to be close.
That's going to be close. Now, your hand has to be in the rope. You have to be away from him with that free hand, and you have to be off of the ground.
And those judges carry a stopwatch, and as the second that hand comes out of the rope, they click it, look down, and if you got 8 seconds on it, you get a marking.
He's looking for all of the above. We take a look at it. Old Playboy comes around. Hofer is going to qualify the ride, and the score comes in at 85 points.
Oh, that's
85.
A nice ride. Gets him a little out of shape, a little back off that rope, but that's where Hart and Try come in right there.
Well, Hofer moves into second place with the 85, and he's looking at $3,000 at the moment. Well, you know, all rodeo stars are not cowboys. Some of them are bulls, like Little Fugitive of the Mitchell firm. Terry Don West, he's the man that'll be aboard. You know, he's one of the rookies for this year. Terry Don, looking at good numbers, over 12,001, and he's also one of the challengers for the Tough Enough Award. He's right on Tough Hedeman's heels.
Yes, sir. Rode 9 for 10. Gus Hughes is going to come in the gate right here to the left. This could be the bull ride if he gets the job done. This bull is in for it. Look at that move. He got into his hand, back over that front end. This kid is making a bull ride, Adley. Man, look at this kid.
That is wild. It's Bull Riders Only, and it is wild. Man, oh man. Hey, I have never seen Terry Don West get
Look at this. Look where he gets into his hand. Look, he gets away from his hand, back into his hand, moves back over the front end. This kid has one of the greatest styles I've ever seen in the game.
And Gary, this audience is on their feet. 93 points for Terry Don West. What a ride. All right, don't you dare go away. We'll be right back after this break with Terry Don West out in front. Well, Aaron Seamus is the man of the hour. Anaheim, California is where we're at Anaheim Arena. And Aaron Seamus, a little called Amanda's Panda. Can he make it 2 weeks in a row? He'll have to beat a 93 score to do it.
Well, he's going to have to ride up. That was a great bull ride, but Aaron Seamus won $17,000 last week, so he's got the ability to ride anything. And look at here. Holy heavens, man, what a bull ride. This could be it.
I can't believe it. I'll tell you what. Now, I know that people like you and I are a little hard to impress, but I'll tell you one thing, I'm impressed tonight.
These fans at Anaheim are getting their money's worth. They're seeing some bull riding now.
Talk about a show. Look at the moves that bull put on him. Oh, man, oh, man.
You talk about make some improvements. This used to be Aaron's weak direction into his hand. He used to be a way tougher away from his hand, but he has come back and made some great bull rides this year into his hand.
Do you know that's the second 90 score for this man tonight? He is back with a 90 and he's winning second. Oh, man. Well, let's go to Brent Gluck and see what he can get done now. This is old star 7 right here of the Russell string. What, he looks like he's ready for this thing.
Yeah, this is the bull they win Cheyenne on right here. Boy, if he has his day, he can beat some points here. Oh, little slip right there. Gluck made a heck of a move to get back in there, but he's not going to get the job done tonight. Holy
We'll talk about a double shuffle. He did. Brent Gluck, he hasn't lost his spirit, but he did lose the ride. It's going to be no score for Brent. Oh, now look.
Okay, look at here as he comes around this corner. Bull slips. Should have got him out of shape, but Gluck moves right back over that corner. Looks like he's in good shape right here, but kind of misses that post right there. Gets run off that rope. Anytime you miss going back over that front end, you're going to slide back, and as that back end comes up, it's like a plunger. Hits you in the back, shoots you over the front end, and there you go.
I thought he had him. I thought he had him, but he lost him. Now, the leaderboard. West out in front with a 93. Aaron Seamus with that 90. Lackey with an 89. Well, here's one of the all-star bulls, the Chevy Trucks all-star bulls, White Lightning. This is a bull that has one of the biggest reputations in rodeo. Buddy Gould, that's the opponent. Buddy said, I'm not worried about this deal. This is going to be a great match, though. You know that, Gary?
You bet it is. 23 White Lightning is the only time that they've ridden him this year. Charles Sampson rode him and wins Salinas, California on him. A great bull ride. And boy, we miss no Charlie down there. He's unfortunately, he's been making some great rides this year, but he just can't stay sound. But if Buddy rides this one here, this could be another leader. This bull is that rank.
Well, you know, he's had a pretty good year, too. Buddy has had really a great year all across the board. Pro rodeo from every angle. And this man, as you stated a little earlier, he is so tough to get to the ground. White Lightning has what kind of a percentage? Probably in the 90s, buck off average?
I would say 95% of the guys gets on him, he bucks off. He's probably going to go to the left out there. Buddy runs his right hand down. That's some guys like him into their hand, other guys like him away from their hand. But I think Buddy likes him into his hand a little better. Obviously.
Holy cow.
Boy, that bull's got some power, doesn't he?
Boy, I'll tell you he does. Now, it looks like Buddy was in there solid. Looks like he was in there solid. Now, watch this. Look at the momentum.
Kind of got him rocking into his hand a little bit right here. See, the motion is a little bit late back. See how he's getting back? Oh, and then that kick drives him into that ground.
Oh, drives him into that ground.
You talk about athletic ability for a bull.
Oh, man, oh, man. Well, we'll be right back with more of Bull Riders Only after this important word.
With the Roper Ride of the Night, I'm here with Terry Don West. Southern California's been good to you. Your second Bull Riders Only win here.
Yes, it's been real good. I had a great bull from the Mitchell Rodeo Company. Turned back right in the gate and really bucked. Couldn't ask for a better bull.
Well, describe it for us, especially that great get-off there.
Okay, coming around here to the left, I'm feeling real good on him about right here. about this point, I feel like I might be in there. I'm wanting up more in the middle of him. He's really trying to win with me right there. Now he's wanting me outside the spin. I humped up, get back to my rope, start spurring, get back on my rope, let loose, start spurring, getting tapped off with him. Getting back in time really good with him. I'm feeling really good right now. Kicked loose, spurring. And I think right in here when the whistle blows, and I'm trying to get off.
Yeah, you got to work on that get off. They don't teach that in bull riding school, do they?
No, but it feels good.
All right, Terry Don West. Here we are in Anaheim, California. Second $10,000 winner of the season for Terry Don. Back to you guys in the booth.
I'll tell you, that was a great ride, Terry Don, and as they say in rodeo, mighty good watching. You know what, Gary, my friend, I know you're a world champion, but I know that you got your eyes opened on Terry Don West's ride, didn't you?
You bet I did. That was a great bull ride, and just as we predicted early in the show, that put him within one bull of Tough Hedeman in the Tough Enough Award. Plus, that put him just a few $100s behind him in the year-end championship. So that tightened the race up on both counts.
You bet it did. And you know, during one of our intermissions tonight, we had a chance to see one of your students and a television star. How about Luke Perry's ride? He looked pretty good, you know it?
You bet. Luke Perry rode 4 bulls the last day of the movie down there on the Lane Frost story. But look at here. This bull gets him a little back. Look at this move over the top of his head. I mean, 74 points the judges marked him for the fun of it. That would have made the second go-around.
That was a nice ride. Well, now we're going to go to the original Coors top 5. Terry Don West with 10,000. Aaron Seamus actually won 3,800 tonight. Dax Lackey with $2,000. Thor Hofer made the finals for the very first time, and it paid off for him. Good ride. He was solid all night. Hofer has hit us for a lick of $1,000.
The Acme Bull Riders Only Series has been brought to you in part by Wrangler Jeans, our official Bull Rider jean. By Chevy Truck, our official truck that we drive. And Award Design Medal, the official buckle of the Acme Bull Riders Only Series. Shirts provided by Roper Apparel.
For Gary LeFew, this is Hadley Barrett. Come back to California as our Bro crew heads down the coast to beautiful San Diego and the sports arena for our next Acme Bull Riders tour stop and more Bro Crunch Time.